meeting of the March 22nd Civil Service Commission at 4:14.
We good to go?
You're good.
Approval of the February 22nd, 2023 minutes. Motion to approve.
We had a chance to have a number.
So moved. I'll second.
Okay.
Under the transactions. March 12th. Here it is.
So the transaction list is back down to a reasonable size now that we're getting caught up. There were a couple of older ones lingering out there that I had found that we had missed. One, Emily Falco being elected to her special election, it never got recorded. Not that it necessarily legally has to be through civil service because it's unclassified, but we generally do. And then Katie LaPerry's shoes appointment at the library. I don't believe I had ever reported to you guys. Everything else, just normal transactions.
If no one has any, I'll make a motion to approve it.
Wonderful.
Civil, we'll go on to the correspondence, your civil service.
Nice and simple this month, just the one correspondence. The day of our last meeting, they let us know that they were ready to start taking the information they need for fee billing, and we'll discuss that in their new business.
Okay. That was quick. Eligibility list, accounts clerk.
Nope, we got one. This was a decentralized exam held a couple of weeks ago, and we had two folks sign in. This is a position, the library requested this exam. I'm sorry, not the library, the school district requested this exam. This is the replacement for Karen Xerxes, who passed away late last year. I authorized them at the time to make an emergency appointment as a temporary to this position. Donna Halbert was that emergency temporary appointment, and she passed her test and will be appointed, I would assume, upon the establishment of this list.
Okay.
So if you guys want to sign that.
I don't sign it as chair though.
No.
I think it wasn't yesterday, I had the music blaring at this time, I was working on a porch. Wouldn't have even, alright.
Okay. And can we get a motion to approve the eligible list?
I'll make a motion to approve the eligible list.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay.
Exam status.
Not a whole lot of new stuff to report on exams this month. Two that have been recently scheduled, Fire Lieutenant and Fire Captain. I will be announcing those soon. I do want to talk to the Fire Chief before I do the announcements and make sure we're all on the same page. But they're both promotional exams, so it's not like we have to worry about a big recruitment or anything like that. It's just a matter of distributing them in-house to the fire department. So, and then water and wastewater treatment plant operator training has now officially been scheduled for 5/13. That is at the bottom there. Yeah, that is a decentralized exam. So we will be able to have a nice long recruitment window and hopefully get us a couple of good quality candidates. We do have 4 vacancies. So.
Status is nothing we gotta act on.
No, just for your information.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions on that? If not, we'll the 2022 annual report, no business.
So thank you for signing that. Again, I just wanted to update you that we went over it in detail last meeting. We did add the financials that we got out of our stubborn new payroll system, and it was submitted on time in accordance with statute.
Was that a little jab at the payroll system?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay. You hit it well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions on that? Alright. We'll go to new business, the 2022 exam fees billing.
So this was sent to us, and it is required that we get this done a little more quickly than I thought it was. So I did provide you a detail, and you'll see at the very bottom that the total applicant count for the year last year was 61. I'll remind you that the firefighter exam for this year alone was 59. So we are going to be very happy to be handing over a lot more money to the state next year when it comes to exams. Our account will be vastly improved in 2023 from 2022. Just so kind of the idea of how it works is basically they charge us half of whatever our fee is. So that we charge $25 for uniform exam, therefore it costs us they charge us $12.50. Same thing, we charge $15 for administrative specialist, all the non-uniform exams, they charge us $7.50 for the services, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
The new job specification for engineering, let's see, we got the.
I just handed this to the both of you. We just completed this just before we came over. I'll let Joe talk about this job a little bit. This is the one that he gave you a heads up about at the last meeting that this was coming down the pipe.
Yeah, so this is a grant funded position that's gonna be, when I say grant funded, just to clarify, that means that the cost of it is included as part of the administrating costs for the grant itself. This is to do inspections and oversight of I think a couple projects. I think primarily the water treatment plant, wastewater treatment plant projects. If you read through it, you'll see there's a variety of different duties because it's a pretty broad job that they're doing. They're doing some engineering work, some grant specific work. And if you look at the experience, it's, there's different levels of degrees and experience depending on what type of degree and what type of experience you have. So it's something that is not, it's, right, I think it's considered temporary. Is that the right term?
Yeah, so I think the plan for this, much like the emergency scope that we talked about a couple of months ago, is that this is project-based. It will be a competitive job. But at least for initial employment, our plan will be to attempt to appoint somebody using the special segment of the temporary, in section 64 of the law for temporary appointments, that allows an 18-month appointment, temporary appointment, as long as it's for a specific project. So we'll try to recruit under those auspices and see if we can get somebody in. Maybe, I don't know if they already have somebody identified that they're considering, but we'll advertise for that and we'll see what we get. And then if it's a position that we feel like is valuable to keep on, we'll order the test and consider making it a permanent position. So
Go ahead.
It's grant funded. How long is the grant funded?
Well, the grant is like an award, so it'll be part of our drawdown of that grant over time. So it's however long the construction projects will last. It's not like a 1-year grant.
Oh, I understood that. I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
as far as you say, making it permanent or grant, I forget the expiration date.
Yeah, I think the idea is that it would probably be completed within the time frame for the temporary position.
Oh, within that 18 months?
Yeah, yeah.
So most grants have part of it is for administration or, and for instance, let's say those bridges, I know there's a grant involved, would they be overseeing or being like a
So-
inspector or no?
So typically, the city has not really utilized that availability in the grants that have them, because the idea is that we've been trying to put as much money as possible to the actual project or whatever the, you know, the grant is for. I think now, just because of the kind of the administrative burden, really, of some of these projects, that's why this position is kind of coming forward now. And it's kind of, and again, if you look through the duties, it's kind of split between what we call our community development, our grant writing team, and the engineering piece, like the construction piece. So, so it's kind of a new approach in that regard, that we are utilizing that administrative function funding piece. Because it will enable us, while these things are here, to have someone to do that work, but maybe not necessarily that it's someone we need to carry full-time. Of course, that's gonna be evaluated, as Dave said, but the idea being that we can properly supervise and do these things, which is a pretty vital part of these projects, is making sure that they're being done correctly, efficiently, appropriately, limiting negative impacts. So, you know, there is definitely a difference when we can have people doing that. The city still does have other budgeted in their regular budget, you know, construction inspection stuff that, you know, for projects that may go in the summer. This is for specific projects.
And it's not just one grant that's funding it, it's just the concept that almost grants have that administrative funding.
Well, yeah, but we have to, usually as part of the budget, we would have to identify that where it would be used.
Okay.
Because of the funding, because of the expense type, so.
Okay. So the only couple of little things that are maybe a little different is, he mentioned, Joe mentioned the minimum qualifications. We're usually pretty linear with our minimum qualifications, so this is the first time we've put two different qualifications that both include a bachelor's degree. So I did do quite a bit of research on this and look at a lot of different job specs and went through the classification manual that the state, to make sure that this is well within their recommended best practices. So it's new for us, but it's definitely in there, and it was really a creative solution by the team that's put together the first draft of this, and very minor changes. They hadn't mentioned anything about high school. I put that in and stuff like that, but I really like the approach that they did here, where the bachelor's degree in the preferred areas, the preferred majors, carries more weight than just a general bachelor's degree, but they both count towards experience. So I thought that was a new novel approach. So.
So is this something we need to, make a motion to approve?
Adopt, yep.
I'll make a motion to approve this, job specification for the engineering projects coordinator.
Okay.
As written.
Okay. Very good.
Any executive session?
Not for me. Nope.
Anybody have anything else?
I'm pretty good. I mean, do you wanna?
Yeah, I think we mentioned it last time, but that I had been accepted per Dave's nomination to the Civil Service Institute, which has started. We had our first kind of, they're doing a hybrid model, I think we discussed it, but first kind of self-study assignment, and then we had a call Monday with the whole group. So that's underway, which is good for me.
So, and then, if you just, a quick recruiting update, I mean, we did extend, the exam, ordinance inspector exam. I did that last night. We have 2 vacancies, one with a provisional, one a true vacancy. We had, 5 applicants for 2 positions. And after reviewing them, I felt like I would feel more comfortable with a larger candidate pool, so I did extend that exam notice through the end of the week. I generally do not like having exam deadlines go beyond the date that I'm required to give account, because then I'm just guessing. But we've had such a small response for this job, and not for lack of trying. We did do a lot of recruitment on this job, that I did feel that it was required extension. So if you know anybody that wants to check how long people's grass is, and work with a wonderful team in the codes office, send them our way. I feel comfortable with it.
Part-time?
Full-time CSEA position. Yep. So.
Cross that off my list.
That's everything I have.